Hi, everyone, and welcome back to The Rush. Well, it is the time of year. A lot of people are planning their wedding, and if you are one of those people, you will be very familiar with Wedding Mail's magazine. I am joined now by the editor-in-chief, Allison McGill. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. So we've got so many things to talk about. The biggest trend is always dresses, because you can't get enough of the pictures, but we're taking a little bit of a turn on dresses. Pink wedding dresses. Is this the new trend?
It is a new trend. Pink is a big color in weddings, always is. But we really had a watershed moment with bridal collections for this season when Vera Wang showed an all pink collection. And Vera, being the queen of bridal, she sets the bar high.
Now we're looking at one of those dresses right now. What was the reaction to people when Vera Wang, the woman who designs the dresses, came out with a pink collection?
Well, know that Vera is known as a pioneer. Her last few collections have been pretty revolutionary. She did a color blocking black and white collection. Prior to that, she did an all aubergine and red collection. So this pink collection was very well received. All of the dresses that Vera showed are available in white, but she showed an amazing palette, anything from blush to carnation, geranium, petunia, and it's a color that's not for every bride, but if you want to make a bit of a statement and you want to have a dress that's a little bit different, and pink is a color that looks great on so many skin tones, and it's so feminine. We've seen it in celebrities. Jessica Biel wore pink, Kaylee Karakou.
Gwen Stefani didn't.
Gwen Stefani did, yeah. She was a forerunner of the pink dress. She wore a Galliano. So it's something that's been around for a while, but we haven't seen these saturated pink shades like we have this season.
How is it, how refreshing is it for you, Allison? Because when you see something that's a complete left turn, it must make you so excited as the editor of a magazine to have something new and fresh to talk about.
Absolutely. And, you know, with weddings, we're always reinventing the wheel, coming up with great ideas. I mean, it's never been a better time to get married as far as ideas, because a lot of tradition has gone out the window, and couples are just taking that event and making it their own and super personalizing everything. So there's not a lot of hard and fast rules when it comes to weddings anymore. So, and fashion is the fun part of it all. And I mean, Kate, the Duchess, Kate of Cambridge, obviously threw us a major curve with sleeves, which is a trend that I've been wanting to come to the forefront for so many years.
I think a lot of women would agree with that. They're happy to see this as a trend.
A lot of women don't like their arms.
Yeah.
And so it's great to see just bridal fashion really turned on its head, and we're seeing different silhouettes and different colors and textures and fabrics.
Well, let's talk about a different silhouette that you're featuring. It's controlled volume. Maybe you can explain, as we're looking at the photos here,
Absolutely.
what you mean by controlled volume.
Well, we're talking about that dress that is, you know, still impactful in a ball gown sort of way, but we're not talking about volume starting from the waist with the tight corset in the waist. It starts lower down on the body, so it's almost a mermaid. It's a fit and flare as well, it's known as.
With lots of volume at the bottom.
Lots of volume. It's more flattering on the body. It really hugs the curves, and it's beautiful, and it makes this like amazing swish these dresses have.
And we have to bring up the last one again, because it's this beautiful grayish hue. I don't know what color that is, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's sort of like the dove gray with a little bit of metallic. So again, we're seeing color creeping in all different ways.
And let's talk a little bit more about things that are different. It's always fun going to a wedding, whether people have a cake or they do the cupcakes or they do the macaroons, but eclairs are the new black.
Yes, so eclairs are the new macarons, we're saying.
Yes.
You've heard it here first. These little guys, I mean, how precious are they?
Gorgeous.
Adorable, and amazing flavors inside. So it's just another spin on something original to put on your sweet table. So eclairs are very retro. Like when we think of an eclair, you probably think really large, lots of whipped cream, big pastry. So these are very refined, very delicate, and they're fun to play with. So, you know, have your cake maker. These are from Cadeau in Vancouver. Work with them, work with your cake maker to, you know, create these really interesting and different sweets. Just have fun with it.
Something that's a little signature for you. Now, if people do eclairs or they do cupcakes, do they still have a wedding cake to cut? Do they do that, or some people just throw that out the window as well?
Here's the thing, at a wedding, you can't get enough sugar.
So true.
So true. So there's cakes, there's cupcakes, there's macaroons, and now we're going to see eclairs. The candy bar is such an iconic thing at weddings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, food is so key.
It is. You got to keep your guests happy. And let's, one of my favorite hotels, boutique hotels here in Vancouver, is the Loden Hotel.
Yeah.
And they're doing something really beautiful with their Something Blue Suite.
Right.
Tell me about this one.
Well, what we're seeing happening with weddings and venues and couples is that they're kind of tying everything into one place. So people getting married, people having their reception, and the Something Blue Suite is a great, place overnight, honeymoon, kick it off there. And they're also doing some really cool out-of-the-box ideas when it comes to the party.
Okay, this is really out of the box. The Loden is doing something called the Silent Disco, and I had to get clarification on what that actually, I haven't heard of this before, but this sounds absolutely hilarious and fun.
Yeah, very cool. So it's the first of its kind in Vancouver. So basically, silent disco, complete oxymoron, correct? So what's happening is your guests have headphones on. They're all dancing to tunes. They could be dancing to different tunes on the dance floor, and it's all quiet. So the thing is, the party could rage on for hours. Everything's contained.
And you're not disturbing the neighbors.
You're not disturbing. And I mean, walking in on this, is this not an Instagram video?
It's hilarious.
To go viral?
What a fun idea. And let's talk a little bit more about the brides themselves, because what to do with the hair is always a big question. But one of the biggest trends that we're seeing for hairs is braids, which is beautiful. I've always loved this look.
Yeah, so fishtail braids, braided updos. It's a very soft look. Again, we've seen hair become undone. Thank you. Because a lot of bridal updos in the past have been very severe, lots of bobby pins, lots of hairspray, so we're seeing a softening. So where we've seen hair come down in recent seasons, like lots of beachy waves, we're seeing sort of this boho braided look.
Kind of like halfway between the updo and the beachy waves. You get a best of both worlds.
Yeah, and it's great for all types of hair textures. If you don't have long enough hair, you can absolutely build in some pieces to that braid. So it's just soft. We've seen it on the red carpet. It's a beautiful option.
And never get it done for the first time the day of. When it comes to the hair and makeup, I'm so surprised so many people do this, but you should always do a test with someone to make sure that you get the look that you want.
Absolutely, maybe 1 or 2 tests, and make sure that the makeup and the hair match your dress, match your style. It's all working, because you don't need that when you wake up on your wedding day worrying about that type of thing.
Absolutely, a little bit of stress you don't need. We're surrounded by beautiful bouquets. Tell me about these ones here. These are from a local florist.
These are from Flowers, and we're talking here, the story is the Pantone color of the year is Radiant Orchid. So this bouquet that we have here with orchids in it, which is gorgeous, really illustrates the trend. So it's this sort of purpley pink shade, really hot for weddings. Our other 2 bouquets, we've kind of like riffed off that Pantone, so we've got some pinks, some lilacs, but it's great for your flowers, it's great for your bridal accessories. The color of the year has been launched in many cosmetic collections. Sephora has some. So it's just a really pretty shade, and
really pretty.
I think we would all agree it's very feminine, and it's very wedding friendly.
And I think the 3 bouquets that we have here today show that, the range of things that you can do, it's limitless.
It is, and these bouquets are nice because they're a little bit unbridled, if you will, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit looser. We have a cascading one here in front, the really Radiant Orchid one, which I think is gorgeous.
Really pretty. And Allison, we have some questions from our audience for you. We have Anoop on our social media desk today. Anoop, what is our first question?
Hi, our first question is, what do you think about lace? Do you think it's an old trend, or do you think it's always going to be a classic for wedding dresses?
Lace is a classic. I think it's never going to go out of style. I think it's absolutely timeless. There's lots of different variations of lace, which a lot of people don't know. Lace is huge in veils right now for bridal, and it's that really elegant but modern look that so many brides want, and I think it's absolutely timeless. It's never gonna leave us.
Okay, next question, Anu.
Our next question is there any colors that you've seen on wedding dresses? Because I know we're moving to roses and that you've seen, you're like, that's a complete no-no. Like, you cannot wear that as a color ever.
I'm going to say no, because black was a trend for a while. I've seen yellow. I've seen red as a big color for wedding dresses. It's really all about your personal style. So if you can rock it, wear it.
And we neglected to talk about the decor. We're seeing a return to opulence when it comes to decor. This is this is from this issue of the magazine, but opulent decor, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's been a real movement towards vintage and rustic, or buntings, mason jars, that sort of movement. So we're seeing sort of an elevation. We're seeing like metallics, rose gold, big floral arrangements. So just a little bit more luxury and a little less rustic.
I love this one with when you're talking about the huge bouquets when they're really got height to them on the tables. It's such a big statement.
Yeah, it's a major statement, and it's also practical because you can talk to your guests back and forth. And we just have fun with these shoots at Wedding Bells, and it's great to come up with ideas. And I mean, I gotta say, I love my job.
Wonderful stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I have to tell you, between the flowers and the eclairs, it smells delicious in here. You can find out more about this year's trends by picking up the current edition of Wedding Bells magazine. You can find them online at weddingbells.ca. We're going to take a break.